Coming up on Travel Access this week is the first part of a two-part series, Calabash Literary Festival. I'm your host, Colors, and it is time for Travel Access. Welcome back. Held in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, the Calabash International Literary Festival was founded in 2001 by novelist Colin Channell, with the support of his two friends, the poet Kwame Dawes and producer Justin Hensel. Their aim was simple: to create a world-class literary festival with roots in Jamaica and branches reaching out to the wider world. As the tagline says, the 2018 staging of this event was lit up. Let's take the first set of those highlights.
Tom Lento, I want you to be careful. Don't go make babies after this poem. So this is the bed. So this is the life of the after years, of the years after. The candlelight lingers late after all these years. Someone is watching us. The journey has been long, so if there are roses, bring them in a vase. Carnations don't do me good, and hibiscus that I miss so much don't do well in a vase. Come sit beside me like a new lover, like a lover seeking to make new the years we've held together between so many walls and so many teardrops, so many laughs and lives. It is as if we are other people from other lives. As if we have lived and lived for others who never knew how to live. As if this fire, I say this fire, my lover husband, the father of my children, the father of the children I never had, the father of the children who returned because they hid at my womb. Sometimes my womb weeps for them. Sometimes my womb dances. Maybe my womb was insufficient for the fire they carried from the other world. I can't. Oh, my lover, my husband of so many years, I cannot come. So, what was it you said when you recall how after all these years, here we are, all the children, all the other lovers lost at sea. And here we are beside the fireplace, the fire so soft.
On the seventh day, the boy broke the window. It had been sealed shut by a coat of paint applied years earlier, and after several futile attempts to open it, he picked up the nearest dining room chair and heaved it against the glass. Even though it happened during the quiet of a Saturday afternoon in May, no one appeared to have heard. No head stuck out from their own window to examine the source of the shattering. No feet hurried to the apartment where the boy had stayed alone for 7 days. It was a miracle, really, that he had survived. Outside, the worst heat wave in a decade was raging, and when the police got there, they reported indoor temperatures of 95 degrees. The electricity had been cut off 4 days earlier. If there had been food in the refrigerator, it surely would have turned moldy. As it was, he had finished eating whatever little was in the fridge, a few slices of pizza and 2 hot dogs. The rest of the time, he had survived on bags of potato chips, crackers, and candy bars. Still, he had not sought help. Nobody could understand why not. When the police asked if he hadn't wondered whether his mother was dead, struck by a car maybe, or worse, he had simply stared back at them with those big amber eyes. The officer suspected that this was not the first time he had been left alone while his mother went scouring for drugs, but the boy was non-committal. "She told me she'd be back," was all he said. And so he had waited. In the tiny one-bedroom apartment that had no air conditioning and only one ceiling fan that could not operate with the power off. Waited in the apartment with the dead fridge and food running out and no television to watch. Even when he smashed the window of the first-floor apartment and tumbled out onto the tiny patch of lawn outside, what greeted him was the indifferent world.
The garden. The street lights shed pearls that night. Stray dogs ran but did not bark at the strange shadows. The minister of all could not sleep. Mosquitoes swarmed around his net, his portrait, and his picture, and drinking glass. The flags stiffened on the embassy building but did not fall when the machine guns flared and reminded that stars were inside the decrepit towns in shanty zinc holes, staring at the fixed constellation. Another asthmatic whirl of pistons passed. The chandelier fell. The carpet sparkled. Flames burst into the lantana bushes. The stone horse whinnied by the bank's marble entrance. 3 large cranes with searchlights lit the poncianas. A quiet flamboyance struck with the fever of children's laughter. Then all at once, the cabbage palms and the bull hoof trees shut their fans. The harbor grew empty and heavy. The sea was sick and exhausted. The royal palms did not salute when the jeeps roamed up the driveway and circled the fountain. The blue maho did not bow, and the lignum vitae shed purple bugles but did not surrender. The homeless did not run, but the dead flew in a silver stream that night. Their silk hair thundered, and their heels crushed the busy nuts and ceramic roofs. The night had the scent of cut grass sprayed with poison. The night smelled of bullets. The moon did not hide. The prisoners prayed in their bunkers. The baby drank milk while its mother slept, and by the window, its father could not part the curtains.
More from Calabash when we return.
Coming up next on Travel Access.
There was a photograph and a red tank top at his feet.
Each daughter told over and over like brush your teeth till it stick.
Welcome back to Travel Access. Let's head back over to Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica for more Calabash Literary Festival.
I heard the music before I got to his door. It was open just a sliver, so I pushed it a little wider. He was on the rug playing an acoustic guitar. I had never seen him with anything but an electric. He played a very simple riff over and over again, 2 chords. It was hypnotic, concentrated, and sad. And so was he. He didn't notice me for about 30 seconds because his head was bent and cocked at an odd angle down toward the gaping orifice of the instrument. There was a photograph and a red tank top at his feet. He may have been staring at either one of them or both. A bottle of Johnny Walker Black sat a little to his right. He looked up and saw me in the doorway. He didn't stop what he was doing but gave enough of a nod to say I was welcome to come in. I didn't want to interrupt him, but I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay inside of that moment with him, inside the quiet. It felt right. It almost felt good. I sat on the floor across from him. I didn't feel like a guest. I belonged there. It was mine as much as his that day. I'm composing a symphony, Tim. It's something I think I will be very proud of. He kept on strumming the 2 chords of his song. It was sparse, stark, and bare, but I'm sure he was hearing much, much more than what was coming out of the guitar. You see, it's a symphonic suite. It's very formal and structured with scrupulous discipline. I'm putting everything I have into this one. Everything I have and everything I can get. The New York Philharmonic Strings, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. No, fuck the Mormons. I'd rather the Vienna Boys. He glanced at me. And I want the middle part to sound like the last day of heaven. Celestial voices, violins, and cellos. I love cellos. The cello is the musical instrument that resembles the human voice more than any other. He stared at the photo. As my eyes got used to the room's dim light, I could see it was a picture of him and Rachel. He was sitting on her lap, and her arms are wrapped around him in a very protective way. She was wearing the same red tank top that was on the floor in front of him.
I pray for that grandmother, grinding her teeth, one hand pushing in fresh hot peppers, seeds and all, turning the handle of that old iron mill, squeezing the limes, knowing they will burn and cut raw like acid. She pours in vinegar and gets Anne to chop and slice the onions with a whole bulb of garlic. Chop them up real good, girl, you hear? And Anne dicing and crying, relieved that no belt has blistered her skin, no knife handle smashed down onto her knuckles until they bleed for stealing from her grandmother's purse. I hear she made Anne pour in the oil and vinegar and stir up that hot sauce, how she hold her down. I hear she tied that girl to the bedpost, strung her out naked like she there lying on a crucifix. I hear she spread she out, then say, I got teach you to go and steal from me, Miss Lady. I hear she scoop that pepper sauce out of a white enamel bowl and pack it deep into she granddaughter's piece. I hear there was one piece of screaming in the house that day. Anne bawled till she turned hoarse. Bawled till the hair on the neighbor's skin rise up. Bawled till she start hiss through her teeth. Bawled till she mouth could make no more sound. I hear how she turned raw. How her grandmother leave her there all day. I hear how she couldn't walk or talk for weeks. So when I was growing up, my family would, all my aunts and my mom and stuff would give me all this advice, warning, and I thought everyone got the same kind of warning until I wrote this poem. Some great-grandmother told her daughter, never let no man hit you and sleep. Pepper the food. Boil hot water and throw. Use knife and make clean cut down there. Use cutlass and chop, then go police. Each daughter told over and over like brush your teeth till it stick. How my mother run away man with cutlass, chase him. How my gran used cutlass pon table to explain to her man don't lose that blasted mind and raise that hand to me. And so we're shaped, molded and made hard. I remember my aunt kicked her man out after her child was born, cut him dead like rotten wood, after he used her like boxing bag, kicking her womb as she lay on the floor. That day her blood boiled through swell eye and bust skin, and she knew he could not sleep, and he knew she wanted to kill him bad, chop him dead.
That's my son collapsed there. My son crumpled there. My son lying there. My son positioned there. My daughter repositioned there. My daughter as Exhibit A there. My daughter dumped over there. My son hidden away there. My son blue there. My son dangling there. My son caged there. My daughter on the gurney there. On the slab there. In the drawer there. My daughter splayed there. My son locked down there. My son hanging there. My son bleeding out there. My son growing frigid there. My daughter deposited there. My son inside the chalk there. My daughter being bagged there. My son on the slab there. My son crushed there. My son rearranged there. My son crumpled in the door there. My daughter's neck shrinking in the noose there. My son's left eye over there. My son as Exhibit B there. My son behind the wheel there. My son under the wheels there. My son slumped over the wheel there. My son, my daughter, blooded and not moving in the doorway, on the stoop, down the block, in front of her kids, just inside the barber shop, face down in the street, outside the bodega, inside the bodega, in the back alley behind the bodega, on the videotape, a block from home, on the videotape, a block from someone else's home, leaving home, hanging out at home, in the schoolyard, on the blacktop, in his bed, in her kitchen, in my arms, in my arms, in my arms. That's my son, shot to look thug. That's my daughter, shot to look more animal. battle, shot as kill, shot as prey, shot as conquest, shot as solution, shot as lesson, shot as warning, shot as comeback, shot as payback, shot for sport, shot for history. That's my son not being alive anymore there. That's my child coming to rest one layer below the surface of the rest of my life there. Thank you. August 19, 2014, St. Louis, Missouri. Kajim Powell, 25, was accused of shoplifting donuts and energy drinks. Police said the mentally disturbed man approached with a knife in an overhand grip. They shot him dead 15 seconds after they arrived. Video shows that Powell's empty hands were at his sides. I am the mother of that darkest magician. His 1,000 limbs thrash in and out of your practice sightline. He is always behind, beside, and in front of you. He lunges for your neck while whistling on a side street 3 blocks away. Firepower throbs in every finger of his bound or idle hands. No matter where he is the leading man in the stuttering convenience store video.
When Travel Access returns, we'll check out the performances of Itana, Leela Ike, and Naomi Cowan at the Calabash Literary Festival.
Coming up next on Travel Access.
Happier times in this nostalgic state of mind. It's not an easy road. And many see the glamour and the glitter, but them think a better rose. Can't stop the way. Cha.
Welcome back to Travel Access. After a day full of storytelling and poetry, the first day of Calabash ended with some of Jamaica's best performances. Let's check them out.
And I'd like for you to put your hands together at this time and welcome Leela Ike.
Blessings and light, Calabash. How we feeling tonight? Yeah, I can't really soon, but it's such a pleasure to be here tonight. As he said, my name is Leela Ike. I got a whole of vibe. You see me? Make some noise for yourselves. Yeah, man. Big up the chef, them. The food nice. Yeah, so this first song is called Second Chance. It's not yet released. Ooh, why? Well, yeah. My baby told me that he's leaving today. Saying can't take the stress. My baby told me that he's going up where. Saying bone for find the best. I told him I'm the best that's out there. He said that he no longer cares. Baby, please, beg me, I beg you, just a second chance. Can we fall in love like we did before? Can I show you how much I adore you, babe? Come on, make we fall in love. Know you love the style, especially the rubber. Can we fall in love like we did before? See, love ain't perfect. So much that we've been through, giving up ain't worth it. So come make we get stronger in love. I tell you, said the loving that we got, it never normal. It's sent from above. You fill up my heart with love. Woo-woo. Nobody ever touched me like you do. Woo-woo. So just fall, forget it all. And baby, make we fall in love once more. Can we fall in love like we did before? Can I show you how much I adore you, babe? Come on, make we fall in love. Know you love the style, especially the rubber dub. Can we fall in love like we did before? Happier times in this nostalgic state of mind. Now I for worry if another lady you giving your time. You gave me your heart, I held it like a dime. Why now you're giving me back mine? Remember when we spoke of thick and thin, we were preparing for these days. Had to seek comfort in each other's fate. In this love we got, tell me what you're speaking of. Leaving what? I don't believe in that.
I'd like for you to put your hands together, Calabash, and welcome Naomi Cowan.
Yeah, nice. This is Armando. Have Rosanna. Na 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 na, yes. Oh yes. Some smile, some cry, some fight every day. We rise to the top, 'cause we know what it takes. Through it all, we survive. Yeah, it's still whole of faith. Unchangeable, Lord, unchangeable. Sing it along. Yeah. No matter how the dollar might stack up, me still not change. Me, I go steer off. In a diggity and you have to buckle up your lace. Be smart, don't be a gruff, no. Life, it's a journey, it's a long race. Mama said, girl, be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me pick up the broom and go and sweep the place. 'Cause all these ways, they got to get erased. My love to me people that me embrace. The truth are the truth and that can't erase. So help to all of those who are hate. Just send me to finish this race, yeah. So we ain't giving up, no. We put up the fight, we got to be ready. 'Cause time's getting tricky. Just said, don't you worry, I'm in a hurry. We got to be ready. 'Cause time's getting tricky. So we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray. Let's hear you guys. We pray, we pray. One more time. We pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray. Ready for that mix? We pray. Oh yes. It's not an easy road. And many see the glamour and the glitter, but them think a better rose. Me say, who feels and knows? Woo, 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 woo. Lord, help me sustain these blows. Me say, it's not an easy road. And many see the glamour, the glitter, but them think a better rose. Me say, who feels and knows? Woo, 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 woo. Lord, help me sustain these blows. Thank you.
Hear the song of a Rasta man say, Babylon, your children gone home, gone home. Babylon, your children gone home. Rivers of Babylon, where we sat down. ready? Sing. Alright, I love you. One perfect love. My name is Etana for those of you who don't know. Follow me on Twitter, Etana Strong One. Facebook, One Etana. I love you. That's enough.
Calabash 2018 was definitely lit up. That's all we have for Travel Access this week. I'm your host, Colors. Join us next time for more highlights from Calabash 2018.